Does OSHA have a requirement for arc flash?
Jeff, not specifically. I guess it would depend on what industry you're in. So if you work in the utility industry, OSHA has specific rules, or let's call them standards, for arc flash in the OSHA 19269 subpart R uh, requirements. And that OSHA 1910269 just specifically applies to the transmission, distribution, and generation of electricity. But if you work in a manufacturing company or something along those lines, you fall under a different OSHA rule, which is 1910 subpart S. And there isn't anything specifically that talks about arc flash.
But does that mean we don't have to do anything for arc flash?
Certainly not. Okay, so you kind of got to read between the lines. OSHA does have rules 1910-132 talks about personal protective equipment, and it specifically says in that particular rule that the employer is required to assess the workplace to determine if there's hazards present or likely to be present that would necessitate the use of personal protective equipment. I don't know about you, but I don't want to stand in front of an arc flash without having on arc flash clothing and the rest of the PPE. And so arc flash certainly can be a hazard present in the workplace that would necessitate the use of PPE. And so the employer is required to assess to determine whether or not that hazard is present or not.